my advice is to go out of your comfort zone and don't think of what other people will think about your decision. If kumaga parang huwag mo isipin kung ano yung iisipin nila kung halimbawa gawin mo yung passion mo talaga, yung gusto mo talaga. Kumbaga, do it now.
Hey everybody, it's me, Jay Christ, and you're listening to episode 34 of the Design Life Show. In this episode, I sit down with Alexis Lingad. He is the founder and CEO of Cryptors and the lead developer of Hakuna Anti-Hack. Alexis founded his startup company at a young age that raises cybersecurity awareness around the world through seminars, trainings, books, web app, mobile app, and hardware innovations. In this episode, we talk about his design life stories from ground up, how he started his passion project then turned it into a business, how he was able to conquer challenges on building his business at a young age, what to do if you want to follow an unconventional path, and a much more. So this is really an exciting episode with Alexis, and I really love how he was able to conquer all the challenges and grow up as from being a introvert programmer, right? So this is really cool and awesome. I think you will love it as much as I do. And for those who are asking how to support the show, you can always support the show by subscribing on any of your favorite podcast app. TDLS is available on Apple iTunes, or it's also available on Google Podcasts or in any of your favorite podcast app, right? So you can also support the show by sharing your favorite episode with your colleagues, friends, and for those who will love this podcast, right? So I think it's really amazing to share, and because sharing is caring, right? So if you also love to support me monetarily, like Sema Nalang and Gio Ben Silva, shout out to them. Thank you so much for being a Patreons for almost almost 3 months or 4 months. So you are helping me you're helping me big on this podcast to keep this running and keeping this advertisement and sponsor free, right? So you can go to patreon.com/tdls, or you can go to the designlifeshow.com. You can click the donate button at the top. Okay, so I think we can go now on this episode, and I'm super excited to share this for all of you guys, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this episode. You're listening to the Design Life Show, a podcast that's helping everyone grow to live a meaningful and creative life. It's me, Jay Christ, a designer from the Philippines, best known for being an advocate of essentialism and optimism. I'm sitting down with awesome people to talk about their journey, their process, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Hey everyone, it's me again, Jay Christ, and you're listening to another episode of TDLS, and I'm super pumped right now. So I'm here with Alexis Lingad. So I think you've heard his name somehow, right? So I'm super excited to know his process, his stories, and behind his success. So I won't take too much of your time now. So without further ado, Alexis Lingad. So hi Alexis, welcome to the show.
Hello. Ayan.
Yeah.
Ano?
Yes, thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
So how are you?
Ayos naman. Kakatapos lang ng work. Ayan.
Cool. So just to give context on this episode, so can you share a little bit about your background and a little bit about your personal life for our listeners?
Okay. Ito na ba yung story or intro lang or okay, sige. I'm the founder and CEO of Cryptors Cybersecurity, which is I think narinig na nila.
Yeah, for sure.
We are the company that created the Hakuna mobile app that was launched in September 22, last September 22. And I'm the Philippine Hacker Games champion 2015 and 2017. And I'm a former cybersecurity consultant in IAI Securities USA. And I authored Cyber Defender, The Power of Hacking. So, yeah, I'm a businessman and / ethical hacker.
Yeah, that's great. So that's good to hear. And I would like to touch a lot of on your story because I would like to know more about your story. So let's go back about your I think how do you start in this industry and ethical hacking, and can you share a little bit about your experience from ground up?
Okay. So I started way back when I was in high school. And back then, parang gusto kong, alam mo yun, parang maging spy or maging si Batman. So, parang what I did that time is nag-aaral ako ng mga iba't ibang klase ng martial arts. Nag-karate ako, nag-arnis ako, and nag-aaral ako ng chess for strategy making and so on. Kumbaga parang ang dami kong ginawa that time para lang gawing Batman yung sarili ko. Pero I failed on in becoming, kumbaga parang hindi kasi ako ganun ka-physical or ka-athletic.
Yes.
So parang I failed on those things. Kaya nung natagpuan ko yung tinatawag nilang technology, that time kumaga parang nag-rise pa lang yung internet eh. So kumaga parang wala pang masyadong, kumaga parang ngayon kasi halos lahat tayo may mga laptop na, di ba? Way back nung high school ko, parang pag may laptop ka, mayaman ka. So parang ganon. So that time parang nagko-computer shop na ako, then kumaga parang doon ako nag-research about sa hacking and so on. Hanggang sa parang nakatagpo ko ng mga resources ng about sa hacking, and kumaga parang pinag-aralan ko lahat yun. Then hanggang sa doon na nag-boom yung interest ko din sa hacking. Then sabi ko parang if may pag marunong ka pala mang-hack, kumaga parang it's like you're a demigod dun sa digital world. Kasi meron tayong dalawang world, human world and the digital world. And if you are a hacker, you have the power to control everything in the digital world. So it's like you becoming a demigod. So sabi ko parang, shit, ito na ba yung superpowers ko? I mean, kasi si Batman, he doesn't have superpowers, but kumaga parang meron siyang something. For example, magaling siya sa martial arts. And
he's genius. And he has money, of course. He's a business.
Ayun. Kaya, ayun, kumaga parang nag-start ako na gamitin siya in creating something or making things better. So, nung nasa web ako, kumaga parang nasa forum ako, may natagpuan ako or may na-meet ako na founder, parang Garen Technologies USA yung company niya, and he's Prejiga rin.
Yeah.
Kumaga parang siya yung unang naging mentor ko. And that time, sabi ko sa kanya, I will work for you for free as a security guy. Cool. Pero ganito, kumaga parang tuturuan mo ako about entrepreneurship. Kasi ganito sobrang unfortunate ko.
It's a trade.
Kumaga parang nag-aral ako sa Caloocan Business High School. Business siya. Pero isa sa mga laging sinasabi ng mga klase ko, wala akong future sa business. Kasi lagi akong sobrang hina akong magbenta, sobrang alam mo yun, Kumaga parang hindi talaga siya para sa akin.
Do
So,
you consider yourself an introvert or
at that
that time?
time,
Yes.
super.
Mhm.
Ayan. So,
Okay,
kumaga
okay.
parang,
Yes. Same tayo. Same tayo.
ikaw rin ba? Introvert? Nice na.
Yeah. We're connecting. We're connecting.
Ayun.
Okay, so on
Mm.
that time, so paano, can you share, can you continue that story?
Ayun. Kumaga parang, tinuruan niya ako
Mhm.
that time. Then, nung pagpasok ko ng college sa Mapua, ang nangyari nun is in-apply ko lahat ng mga tinuro niya. So,
Yes.
nag-create ako ng sarili kong website that time.
Mm.
And yung website na yun is sa loob lang ng Mapua. And
Okay.
kumaga parang underground, siya, naging underground organization. And yung mga, para makapasok ka doon sa website na yun, para maging member ka, kailangan ma-hack mo yung website.
Okay, so there's a certain
parang may
security.
password doon.
Yes,
Tapos kailangan mong ma-break in yung password.
Cool. Yes.
So
Okay.
ganun siya. So, kasi parang pagpasok mo, kumaga
Yes.
may mga rules na parang bawal mong ipagsabi kung ano nasa loob. Kumaga
Nice.
parang siyang fight club.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
doon sa loob, ayun.
So,
Tapos sa loob,
what year is it? What year is this? Your college ka pa lang nito, no? Right?
first year
Yes,
college.
first year college.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Cool.
ayun nga, ang nangyari nun, kumaga parang hindi magkakilala yung mga members sa loob. Kasi
Okay.
bawal mo ipakilala yung sarili mo. Yun yung isa sa mga rules.
Interesting.
So, kumaga parang, so ngayon, kumaga parang kami na kumaga parang kaming dalawa nung kasama ko na nag-start nito. Kumaga parang every Sunday, kasi pag Sunday doon, walang masyadong guard. Then, yung may ibang mga CCTV na nakapatay. So parang ang nangyayari. So ngayon, ang ginagawa namin, papasok kami doon, tapos naka-hood kami or tapos doon kami sa blind spot, nagpapaskil kami ng mga poster. Join us, parang ganun. We are not an urban legend. we are existing, ganun. Learn hacking. Join us, mga ganon.
Okay.
So parang ganon yung naging niya. So parang naging trendy siya dun sa loob ng Mapua. So, ang daming gustong sumali hanggang sa dumating yung time na, alam mo yung, di ba may FAU secret files, Diliman files, mga ganon. Yes. Meron din ang Mapua niyan.
Okay.
Mapuan files yung tawag. So that time may 50,000 nata ng mga active doon na students.
So ngayon, para sa yung mga ayun, how do you ano yung gamit niya, or is it for college students only or for hackers?
Actually that time sobrang failure na may idea ngayon. Kumbaga parang ang nasa isip ko nun is gagawa ko ng parang illegal na website na kung saan yung ibang mga tao matututo ng hacking. Yes. Tapos ang pinaka-idea ko nun, parang we can be ethical. Kumaga parang dun sa goal ko na we can be ethical, i-hack natin yung mga website, tapos ibibigay natin sa kanila yung solution kung paano secure yun. Pero hindi tayo magpapakilala. Kumaga parang that time, hindi ko pa alam yung way. Kung paano siya gawin legal.
Okay.
Kaya medyo fail talaga. And wala ring business model. I mean, hindi ko alam kung sabi ko sa ads. Pero hindi naman ganun yung ads dito. Kaya after nun, diba, may Mapuan files. Yeah. So ngayon, hinak yung Mapuan files. Tapos ang nanghack sa kanya, anti-cryptors.
Okay.
So kasi Mapua Cryptors yung name namin . So parang siya naman, Mapua Anti-Cryptors.
Okay.
So ngayon, kung parang hinak niya, sabi niya, kung totoo talagang hacker yung mga cryptors na yan, i-hack back nila yung Mapuan files in just 1 week.
Okay. So this is the
ngayon, kumaga parang
it's a challenge for
yeah.
Okay.
Pero kami dun sa loob ng crypto, sabi ko, wag na natin pansinin, sabi ko, kasi trap lang yan. Ang kaso nga lang, ang ginagawa niya, araw-araw may sinisiraan siyang mga orgs, mga tao, kasi nga syempre sobrang laki ng community ng ng Mapuan files and so on. Kaya parang yung mga tao nanghihingi na rin sa amin ng tulong na, hey, cryptors, totoo naman kayo eh. Kung parang i-hackback nyo na kasi ang daming nadadamay,
parang you're the legit one, and then you parang i-show nyo yung how you hack those things, right?
Okay. Parang sabi nila, if you really want to save the people, save the world, parang save mo yung Mapuan files na parang, hey, sino gustong sumama sa akin?
Yes.
Walang gustong sumama sa akin.
Got it.
Sabi ko, bakit? Baka kasi ma-kick out kami or magagana and so on. Kasi isa sa mga plano ko, magpapakilala kami. So parang, sabi ko,
upfront as your real name.
Oo. Right. Kasi syempre, ang nasa plano ko nun, kumaga parang tatanggapin na tayo ng tao kasi kumaga parang ililigtas natin sila. So parang possible si Mapua rin kasi nanghihingi ng tulong, di ba? So parang ayun, siguro kumaga parang magkakaroon kami ng parol. Parang gano'n.
Yes.
So ayun, kumaga parang after 3 days, nagkaroon ako ng retrieval operation since ako na lang mag-isa. So 3 days, tapos after nun, fortunately, na-hackback ko siya. And nung na-hackback ko siya, nag-post ako ng picture ko doon na sobrang siguro malakas yung dating. parang terorista.
Can you describe the picture? Paano?
Naka-hood. Kumaga parang, naka-jacket ako pero hindi nakasuot yung hood. Tapos sobrang long hair ko noon na parang emo. Na parang nakatingin din naka-smile sa camera na parang
nangaasar.
Nangaasar. Tapos yung kamay ko parang paano ko imagine yun? Basta ayun. Ganun siya.
Let's find out.
Ayun. Kumaga parang pinalitan ko yung nun. And kumaga parang nagkaroon ako ng statement doon na hey, totoo yung cryptors. And kung ano yung layunin namin talaga.
Yes.
And na sana wag nila lang gawin ulit yun, mga ganun, blah, blah, blah. So, kumaga parang kami naging superhero that time. Na parang akala nila sa movie lang nangyayari yun.
Yes.
Na parang may ganun pala, diba? Kumaga parang nag-i-exist pala talaga sila or nakakahack pala talaga sila. So parang ayun yung naging trademark namin. After nun, after 2 days, ito na yung turning point. May mga ilan sa mga student org doon na parang nag-petition na ipa-kick out ako. So kumbaga parang bakit daw? Kasi ang nangyari noon is sabi nila, ako lang din daw yung nang-hack noon para maging famous ako. So parang ganun yung yung sinasabi nila. Kasi ayun, kumbaga parang popularity. Pero ayun, dahil doon, hindi na ako lumaban kasi syempre that time wala pa naman akong kaya and so on. And may mga lawyers sila, may yaman sila, may pera.
Student.
So sabi ko, sige, pabayaan ko na. So alis na lang ako ng Mapua. Then noong August 2015, napatunayan na finrame up lang kami. So yung nang-hack na yun, admin lang pala ng Mapuan files.
Wow. Okay.
Ayun, di ba? Parang frame up.
So what did you do after that when they find out that you've been framed up?
Ayun. Kasi wala na kumaga parang na-depress na ako, ganito and so on. Tapos nakakulong ako sa kwarto. Tapos habang nakakulong ako sa kwarto, kumaga parang pag-depress kasi ako, nagbabasa ako ng libro. So parang ang dami kong libro na parang binabasa doon. That time kasi hindi pa ganun ka uso yung internet na blah blah blah. So on. So ayun, kumaga parang nagbabasa ako ng libro hanggang sa nag-decide ako in the middle of reading books na hey, kailangan kong mag-start ulit. Then sabi ko sa sarili ko, kumbaga parang doon ako mas naging mature. Thanks for that.
Okay.
Na dahil nangyari yun. And mas naging kumbaga parang high level yung pag-iisip ko about sa business.
You shifted
parang
your mindset, from that from that happening, and then you shifted into a positive way, right? So what's the book that you've read at that time? Can you remember that, or do you remember that?
Meron namang ilan doon na natatandaan ko pa. Siguro Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
And ayun, isa yun sa mga
very famous
that time.
book. Yeah.
So, ngayon, kumbaga parang after nun, napagtanto ko na parang hindi ko masisecure yung world ng parang ng ganito lang, ng ako lang mag-isa, or hindi ko masisave yung, hindi ko ma-change yung world ng mag-isa lang. So sabi ko, kailangan ko mag-create ng empire.
Yes.
So ngayon, kumbaga parang yung empire na yun, para mas magkaroon ako ng control, para mas magkaroon ako ng power to change something dito sa sistema natin.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, sabi ko, kailangan ko mag-create ng business na talagang nag-create ng money talaga.
Yes.
So, sabi ko,
cool.
Ayun, kumbaga parang in-start ko yung Cryptors way back 2015. Tapos, that time, kumbaga parang nag-create ako ng team, may lawyer, may parang programmer, may accountant, may developer, mga ganun. So parang tapos na-register namin sa SEC, legal na.
Yeah.
Ayan. So that time sumali kami ng competition, Philippine sa What the Hacker Games.
Yes, What the Hack.
So,
okay.
So, ngayon, after nun, 5-member kasi yun per group. Ito yung nakakatawa. Nung nalaman ng mga kagrupo ko na parang, PhD yung mga kalaban namin.
Wow.
So, sabi nila, parang, unti-unti na sila nagdahilan na, may gagawin. So, parang, ang nangyari nun, ayun, kumbaga parang, technically, mag-isa na lang ako doon sa team namin na
yes.
Ayun. Tapos, from that moment, kinausap ako ng judge na, hey, Alexis, itutuloy mo pa ba? Kasi mag-isa ka na lang. Baka hindi mo nakayanin. Sabi ko, sir, for experience na lang po. Kasi, ayun kailangan ko rin yung ng experience eh. So, ayun, kumbaga parang sabi ko noon, sige, ayun, pinayagan ako. Tapos, after ilang mga hours na lumipas, ayun, in-announce na yung winner. Tapos, so may hiwagaan sila.
You win.
Paano ako nanalo?
Is it a group effort, or you just did it with yourself? How do you? Yeah.
Etong Hacker Games 2015.
Yes.
Yun nga, as I said, mag-isa lang ako noon.
Okay.
Na dun sa team na yun. So parang inindihan nga ako ng mga ka-team ko. Unfortunately. Okay. So yung mga kalabang ko, ayun, kompleto pa sila, tig-5 sila. So ngayon, kumbaga parang nahiwagaan sila. Yeah. Paano ako nanalo noon? So that time, dahil doon, na-invite ako all over the Philippines na mag-talk paano ako nanalo and about cybersecurity na rin. So that time, nakita ko yung demand na ang daming gustong malaman kung paano ako nanalo doon.
Yeah.
And paano ako natalo yung mga yun. So nag-create ako ng ebook. Ebook muna.
Ebook,
kasi,
yes.
Kasi wala pa akong pang-publish ng hard copy. So ngayon, nagbenta ko ng ebook. Yun yung Cyber Defender, The Power of Hacking. Tapos self-publish siya. Tapos pinenta ko siya hanggang sa nakaipon ako ng ng capital ko.
Yeah.
Kumbaga parang sobrang taas ng demand, ayun, nakaipon ako ng capital ko and pang-print na sa hard copy.
How much do you sell that ebook on? Do you sell it online, right? You sell it online.
Kumbaga parang, pero ngayon, kasi sobrang 500.
500 pesos, right? So it's cool.
Ayun. So that time kasi 'di ba, iniisip natin lagi paano ka makakakuha ng kapital ng ng walang ginagastos. So ngayon, eto na 'yun.
Eto na.
Eto na 'yun. Kung gusto yung
ginamit mo siya
pero hindi naman lahat.
Firm,
Oo. Basta may internet ka, may laptop ka, pwede 'yun.
yes. Anything is possible right now.
So, that time, ayun nga, nakapag-print ako ng hard copy, which is, ayun na nga. And after nun, ang nangyari is, isa naman sa mga napansin ko, isa pang revolutionary na nagawa namin that time, is, ang mga cybersecurity trainings that time is nagkakos mostly mga 80K, 100K to 200K.
Yes, super expensive.
Super mahal.
Yes.
Diba? So, ngayon, kumaga parang what we did is ginawa naming sobrang baba.
Yes.
500 pesos to 5,000 pesos. So, compared to 100,000 pesos, diba? So, parang much affordable na siya.
Parang you create a demand for those who are really interested, right? So, basically, you lower the price. So, mas higher yung demand. Tama ba? Yes.
Kasi isa sa mga goal ko that time is to raise cybersecurity awareness sa mga tao.
Yes.
Paano maging aware ang mga tao?
Speaking of cybersecurity, can you what's your anong meaning for you yung cybersecurity? Can you just give a little bit about that? So for those who are listening na very unfamiliar with this term, because medyo geeky. Sorry guys, medyo geeky or medyo technical. Okay? So can you share that?
Okay, so cybersecurity, ito yung parang halimbawa meron tayong physical security. Kumbaga parang ang physical security is all about sa kung paano masisecure yung sarili mo physically.
Yes.
So kumbaga parang ang cybersecurity, in layman's term, ito yung pagsisecure mo sa sarili mo online or pagsisecure ng something online. So it's about securing something online. So ayun, kaya cyber. So ayun. So ayun siya.
Yes.
So ayun yung after nun, yung nangyari yun, ang dami kong naging basher na mga from other employees, from other competitors.
Even in groups, Facebook groups, I heard your names.
Sobra.
Yes, I heard that also. Okay.
Sobrang daming bashers na parang yung ibang mga companies, ganito ang ginagawa. Binabayaran pa yung mga trolls, mga iba't ibang mga employees nila na i-bash ako para wala nang umano sa amin. Kasi namamatay yung industry nila eh.
Yep.
You see? Kumbaga parang, kaya kung ngayon, kung mapapansin mo, di ba nagsibabaan din sila?
Yes.
From 100,000, nagiging 5,000 na.
Yes. Kasi you're educating more humans or more people for them to secure their own data or information, right?
Yes. To a lot more people.
Yeah.
To a lot more people.
Really...
Kasi kumbaga parang ang pag-iisip ng mga cybersecurity companies at that time, ang cybersecurity trainings is for rich only.
Yeah,
so parang ayoko yun eh. Ayoko ng ganun. So parang, kaya if ever na nabanggit mo yung cryptos, parang isa sa mga sasabihin nila, kung hindi sila basher, isa sa mga sasabihin nila is sila yung nagpababa ng cybersecurity trainings dito sa Pilipinas.
So you basically disrupt the industry of cybersecurity. Right?
Yeah.
That's really
actually, it's a good thing. It's a fulfilling thing. Pero ang dami mong magiging kagalit.
Yes. Yes. But you gain traction on that, right? So you basically create a business on that, right? So how far are you going now from those challenges? How do you overcome those challenges? Doon mga basher, right? So how do you have your finances not to you have finance to, or you have the budget not to finance your firm? How do you overcome those challenges?
Okay. First siguro yung sa bashers. Nung nag-uumpisa pa lang ako, syempre parang introvert ako, kumaga parang nanggaling ako sa cocoon, tapos parang nakilala ko, tapos ang daming biglang namba sa akin, di ba? Parang that time, sobrang affected ako. So, kumaga parang sobrang nade-depress ako sa mga sinasabi nila kasi hindi naman totoo. Ang dami lang nagawang kwento na parang sa nila kinuha yun. Parang, ayun. So, parang that time, sobrang nakakaano. Pero, natutunan ko on that process na...
Yes, okay.
Ayun. Natutunan ko on that process na mas magiging successful ka pala. Mas magiging mabilis yung success mo if i-ignore mo yung mga useless na criticism nila. So, yung pambabash nila sa'yo. So, kumbaga parang that time, okay, sige, ignore ko lang yan and keep on improving the product, keep on improving the services, keep on improving myself. Yun yung parang pinag-focusan ko that time. Keep on improving the company. Kung may nakita silang mali, okay, sige, improve ko yan, improve, and so on. Hanggang sa wala na silang masabi. Although, the bad thing here sa Pilipinas, kahit na na-improve mo na lahat ng mga sinabi nila, magkagawa naman sila ng kwento about sa'yo. Hindi naman. So parang...
Nagana pa ni sila butas, right?
Although. So, ayun, kumaga parang it's very common, lalo na pag nakilala ka na. Pero just keep on improving yourself.
Yes.
To keep winning. Ayun.
Yes.
So,
agree. 100%.
Ayun. Kumaga parang after nung cybersecurity trainings na yun, meron ng mga nakakilala sa amin na companies na nag-invest sa amin and nag-incubate sa amin, binigyan kami office space and so on. And ayun, hanggang sa security testing na rin kami and so on.
Cool.
Which is sa security testing, mas malaki yung kita doon kasi kumaga parang security ng mga company. Then, that time parang nakilala kami sa Bug Bounty platform.
Okay.
Yun yung parang first in the Philippines. And naging top on siya.
Platform? Can you define that? Yes.
So, ang Bug Bounty platform is website siya na kung saan ang mga companies, mga clients namin, mga businesses, pwede silang maglagay ng parang website nila doon sa loob. Kumaga parang mirror version.
Yes.
Na pwedeng paglaruan ng mga hackers namin. 300 plus na hackers. Wow. So, yung crowdsource na hackers na yon, wala naman kaming kinalaman doon sa mga crowdsource hackers na yun. Kumaga hindi sila employed sa cryptos.
Yes.
Pero kumaga parang yung mga hackers na yon, pwede nilang i-hack yung mga doon sa loob ng platform na yon, na mga website. Tapos ngayon, pag na-hack nila yon, nare-rewardan sila ng mga company. Tapos ang pinaka-profit namin doon, 20% ng reward na makukuha ng mga hackers mapupunta sa amin. Then 80% doon sa hacker. Kumaga parang intermediary lang kami that time.
Wow.
So, ayun, kumaga parang that time, ang dinadisrupt ko naman is, di ba mostly, halimbawa, sa Comelec, kumaga parang pinagyayabang nila, naka-premium sila na software, security, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Diba? Kumaga parang, pero that time, parang, nahack lang naman sila ng ng 3 or 2 na hacker.
I think,
mga ganon. Pero dito, paano?
Very young people.
Kaedad ko pa.
Yes.
So parang,
how old are you again? 27, right? Or yes.
22.
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so continue your story.
So, ayun, kumaga parang dito, paano kung ang mga hack sa'yo is 300 plus na hackers? Imagine that.
Yeah.
For example, isa sa mga naging client namin si MyStartups.ph. Kumaga itong si MyStartup.ph, unang gabi pa lang, sobrang dami ng critical na nakita. Na if ever na mag-Cloudflare ka or kung anumang software na aabutin ka ng ilang buwan para makita yung mga ganong klaseng vulnerability. So, ganun siya ka-disrupting and ganun siya ka-effective. So, ayun, kumaga parang, hello?
Yes.
Ayun.
Yes.
Kumaga parang yun yung Bug Bounty platform.
Yes.
So, after nun, 2017, eto na, nanalo ulit kami sa What the Hack. And dito may kasama na ako. So, yung security,
Second time.
kami. Yeah.
Yes.
5 na kami dito.
Okay.
Ayan. So, dito, ang kalaban namin yung nanghack ng Comelec. Isa sa mga nanghack ng Comelec. So,
what's the name?
After nun,
What's the name of the hacker of Comelec?
ayoko ng pangalanan. Baka i-bash na naman ako.
Okay. It's okay. So let's go on. Okay.
Ayun. So after nun, kumaga parang nung nanalo ulit kami doon, nag-jump in ulit kami doon. So parang ang nangyari is na-discover kami, ang daming mga naging kumaga parang contacts or partners. So parang may nagbigay sa amin ng office sa Makati.
Yes.
Then after nun, parang kumaga parang mas pa kami, kumaga parang mas naging stable. Yes. Then itong 2018, which is super paano ko masabi? Super turning point.
Yeah. This is your year, I guess.
Yes.
Nga. So you mentioned the app Hakuna. We've mentioned the app Hakuna for those who are listening. So you just launched it, right? This 2018. So can you share about that?
Ayun. So sabi namin, nasisecure na namin yung mga businesses. Yes. Pero paano naman yung mga individuals?
Yes.
So ngayon, kumaga parang that time, nung nagre-research ako about kung paano masisecure individuals, I came up with a statistic na nagsasabi ng mga hacker threats around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So ngayon, natagpuan ko na ang mga antiviruses is na sinisecure ka lang ng 1.5%. Bakit? Kasi ang hacker threats na iba pa is 40% social engineering. 25% top 2 Wi-Fi hack. Then top 3 malicious legit apps. Yes. So and other Then ang virus 1.5% lang from that 100% security. So kumbaga parang from that moment, kumbaga parang yung mga antivirus na kilala natin.
Yes.
We've been cheated for several years.
For a
Nakakala natin
long
secure tayo.
Yes.
Ayun, di ba? Kumbaga parang sabi ko, kung ako yung hacker, tapos nalaman ko na antivirus lang yung mobile niya. As a hacker myself, tatawanan ko lang siya kasi I know sobrang dami palang strategy para ma-hack siya. Di ba? Yeah. So ngayon, kumaga parang napaisip ako, paano kaya namin susolusyonan to? Paano namin talaga effectively na masisecure yung mga tao? Na kasama yung ilan sa mga yon, yung social engineering, Wi-Fi hack, yun.
This is the birth of Hakuna. It's an anti-hack, right? So how do you manage to do this? And can you share a little bit about your experience on creating this?
Okay. So dito, kumbaga parang isa sa mga goal namin nga is to secure you through social engineering and so on. So parang dito meron kaming 4 na feature.
Okay.
Yung unang feature na yun na ginawa namin is to counter the social engineers. Kumbaga dito, naka-focus kami on stopping the hackers. Kasi 'di ba yung ibang antivirus parang pina-promise nila sa'yo na i-stop nila ang hacker. Okay. Pero kung naka-focus lang sila sa virus, they're not really stopping the hackers. They're not really stopping the hackers. So dito, kumbaga parang unang feature, ayun nga, cybersecurity awareness, na kung saan i-update ka niya sa bawat threats, sa new threats and sa mga new strategies ng mga social engineers na yan. So para maging kasi people is the weakest link in a system or in a company. Kaya if ever na kahit gano'n pa ka-secure yung system mo or yung technicalities sa company, if yung people is not aware, then it's useless. That's why ayun yung una naming binanatan, which is cybersecurity awareness.
Yeah.
Pangalawa, another trivia. Alam nyo ba na, ayun nga, sa Google Play Store, di ba, yun, madalas nagda-download tayo ng apps doon, di ba?
App Store.
If Android user.
Yes.
Sa Play Store, ayun.
Play Store, yes.
Ayun. So, hindi natin alam, may mga ilan doon na legit na app. Pero, dinedestroy naman yung privacy natin. For example, pwede yung, kung may mga nakikinig na iba, pwede nilang gawin to, na i-search nila yung flashlight app sa Play Store.
Okay.
Tapos, simpleng flashlight app lang.
Okay.
Tapos, install nila yun. Tapos ngayon, syempre, i-download nila Hakuna. Tapos, pindutin nila yung privacy analyzer. Tapos ngayon, may detect niya si flashlight. Tapos ngayon, pag tinignan mo doon, pag kinlik mo yung flashlight app na yun, ba't niya na-detect? May kita mo doon, ina-access niya lahat. SMS, contacts, call logs, microphones, camera, GPS,
yes.
Everything sa phone mo. So, it's like, what? Flashlight lang yun Dapat ganito lang yung ina-access niya. Ba't ang dami niya nang ina-access?
Cool.
So, parang doon, malalaman mo, ma-analyze mo. Kung yung app na yun ba is dinedestroy na yung privacy na meron ka. So, ayun siya. So, number 3 is yung hacker buster. Na kung saan, malalaman mo kung hack ka na ba o hinahack ka.
Yes.
Ayun, simple lang. And if ever na hinahack ka na, tatanggalin lang niya kung ano yung, kahit na naging system app pa yan, tatanggalin niya yun. Kung ano mang hacker tool yung nilagay nila dun sa app mo, sa smartphone mo. And lastly, ito yung pinaghirapan talaga namin.
Yes.
Which is sobrang hirap niyang gawin. To the point na parang gusto na namin mag-give up. Pero fortunately, nakahanap kami ng ano. Actually, itong algorithm na to na nagawa namin dito is ini-encourage kami ng Intellectual Property of the Philippines last discussion namin na ipapatent.
Yeah.
Kasi first, kumbaga parang wala pang nakakagawa nun. So, itong feature na to
first
is
in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Wi-Fi hack blocker siya na kung saan madalas 'di ba na kumo-connect tayo, sakit nating mga Pilipino to. Yung kumo-connect tayo sa SM free Wi-Fi, coffee shops free Wi-Fi, even sa MRT kahit siksika na nagko-connect ka pa rin sa free Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Diba? Parang ayun yung natin madalas talaga natin gawin. And hindi natin alam na sobrang dali lang i-hack or possible na ma-hack ka ng mga hackers if ever na naka-public Wi-Fi ka. Sobrang lang. Kumaga parang pag halimbawa nag-login ka na sa public Wi-Fi, parang mong sinisigaw yung hacker na, hey, ito yung password ko, ito yung username ko. So parang for hackers, oasis siya. Diba?
Yeah. Okay.
So, that time, namang problema din kami mga nasa hacker community kung paano namin mabablock yung mga Wi-Fi hackers Kasi kahit naka-VPN ka, pwede ka pa rin ma-hack sa Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So parang, ayun yung parang problema namin that time. Pero ngayon, hindi na. Kung parang ngayon, dito sa Wi-Fi hack blocker na feature namin, madetect mo na kung sino yung hack, kung may nang-hack sa'yo within the Wi-Fi. And after nun, matatrack mo na din kung sino yung nang-hack sa'yo. Malalaman mo kung ano yung laptop na gamit niya. So, if nasa loob ka ng coffee shop, tapos may nang-hack sa'yo, tapos sinabi sa'yo ng Hakuna, hey, naka-Asus siya na laptop.
Yes.
So, hanapin mo na lang doon kung sino yung naka-Asus na laptop.
Yeah.
For sure, mahanap mo na siya. Pwede mo na sabihin sa kanya, hey hacker, but anong trip mo? Kailangan mo ba ng kausap? Malungkot ka ba? So, pwede mo lang i-confront, di ba? Parang, ayun. So, the era of,
yes.
Kumbaga, the era of you being afraid of hacker is gone. Ito na yung era na kung saan the hacker will be the one who will be afraid of hacking you because you have Hakuna. So it's a beautiful weapon against the hacker. So,
yes, especially in this world of internet, right?
Yeah.
So we're IoT, Internet of Things, right? So we're connecting. The world is, parang lumiliit siya ng lumiliit dahil sa technology. So mas vulnerable tayo. When it comes to cyber hacking or information hacking, right? Yeah, for those for those things na I think it's one of the big factor that you overcome those challenges kasi because of your creativity, right? So do you agree with that?
Actually,
Yeah.
may isa pang challenge
Mhm.
talaga dun eh. Kasi
Yes.
ang unang-unang sabi sa amin ng investor sa amin,
Yes.
walang may pake sa mga tao
Nobody.
about sa ganong
Yes,
klaseng, sa
nobody.
cybersecurity, di ba?
Yeah.
Wala silang pake. So ngayon, kumbaga parang isa yun sa mga challenge namin nung ilo-launch na namin yung app.
Okay.
So, ayun. So, that time, hindi talaga namin ine-expect na magbo-boom siya. Pero, pagka-launch namin, yung namin, hindi yung sa public launch nung September 20, yung August, yung pagkalabas namin sa Play Store.
Okay. Yes.
Pagka-upload namin sa Play Store. Laging sinasabi ng mga investor, pag yung cybersecurity app, mostly, lang yan, mga nasa 1,000 downloads lang yan sa isang buwan. Pero what we did is 10 times more.
Wow.
Kumbaga parang 10,000 plus in just 1 month.
50,000 to 100 downloads by the end of the year.
Yeah. And ngayon, kumbaga parang pagka-launch namin that time, nag-trending siya, umabot ng top 4 worldwide sa Play Store. So kumbaga parang doon namin nakita na. Kumbaga parang siguro ito na, kumbaga parang ito na yung way para mas magkaroon ng pake yung mga tao sa cybersecurity.
So basically, validated na yung idea and you just need to create an awareness campaign, right? So something like that.
So ayun, kumbaga parang from that moment, kumbaga parang kasi nung kumbaga parang bago kami mag-launch, kumbaga umabot kami sa kumbaga parang ilang iterations.
Yes.
Kumbaga may mga beta tester kami na parang mga volunteers ba?
Yes.
Para paikutin sa kanila lagi. And kumbaga parang minsan nandun din sa point na parang sinasabi na, ano ba itong feature pa to? Parang ayun. So parang sige, keep on improving.
Or a feature.
Yeah. Ayun. So parang ayun, kumbaga parang ayun siya. So ayun, kumbaga parang 10,000, ano pa ba?
So is there a chance na parang you're just 22, no? Nagkaroon ba ng doubt yung mga investor or in your around people about your age or kahit hindi ngayon, kahit sa dati mong with your past experiences, because we know that if you're a young or entrepreneur or a creative professional, whatever you do here in the Philippines, parang medyo sila dyan, medyo ayoko dyan. Di ba yung ganun ka-experience, right? So they prepare parang mas maedad or merong experience. Can you share a little bit about those things and how do you overcome those challenges?
So, mostly kasi ng mga tao pupunta sa traditional path na kung saan mag-aaral sila ng mabuti, dapat may mataas na grades, tapos dapat gumraduate with flying honors, then after nun maghanap ng trabaho, then after nun dapat magkaroon ng stable job na mataas ang sweldo, then maghanap ng asawa, then mag-retire at age of 60. Ayun yung traditional path. So, ako naman kasi parang sabi ko, bawat tao may iba't iba yung path na pwedeng gawin. Depends on his passion. On his likeness to do. So, kumbaga parang ako, ang passion ko is dito sa cybersecurity. So, kumbaga parang sabi ko, that time, although, yes, na-kick out ako sa pero it doesn't mean na mag-i-stop na ako nun. Dahil itong sistema is parang sinasabi sa akin na, hey, hindi mo kaya yan. So, there's a lot of that nung nagsisimula pa lang ako. And lalong-lalo na, nagsimula ako 18 years old. So, kumbaga parang sobrang bata nun and kumbaga parang, ayun, ando doon. Pero ito yung parang pinakatandaan ng mga nakikinig or kahit ikaw. Kumbaga parang hindi, kumbaga parang huwag mong ibase yung mga gagawin mo dun sa mga sinasabi ng iba. Kumbaga, focus on kumbaga parang focus on your kumbaga parang passion ba dun sa gusto mo talagang gawin kung saan ka masaya. So, kasi we only live once.
Yes.
So, if gagawin mo yung mga bagay na parang hindi mo naman talaga gusto, di ba? E di parang sayang naman. So, although dito, gusto ko yung cybersecurity, pero mahirap pa rin siya. Although masaya ako.
Yes.
Pero the point here is, if pag hindi mo talaga siya gusto, mag-give up ka kaagad. Pero ito kasi, mahirap. Yes, sobrang hirap. Pero gusto ko siya eh. Kaya,
100%,
hindi ako nag-give up.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya, ayun yung rason. Kaya, kahit na sobrang daming ang daming nagdi-discourage sa akin. Ayun. So ngayon, if ever na may nakakausap ang mga investors, so, mostly, marami akong nakikilala rin ng mga startup founders na hindi rin tapos.
Yes.
So dito sa Pilipinas marami din. And parang isa sa mga pattern na nakita ko. And mostly, pero hindi ko naman ini-encourage yung iba na mag-drop out na. And so,
of course, yes.
pero mostly ng mga nakita kong pattern. Pag nakikipag-usap sila sa mga investors and medyo natatopic yan, kumbaga parang pag hindi mo alam kung pag hindi ka ganun ka-passionate dun sa, kumbaga parang hindi ka ganun ka-knowledgeable dun sa mismong topic mo o sa mismong idea mo o sa mismong, kumbaga parang halimbawa ako cybersecurity. So kumbaga parang kakainin ka nila ng buhay. Yeah. Pero if ever na parang naipakita mo sa kanila na mas maalam ka dun sa field mo, kumbaga parang okay, sige, hands up na sila. And once na pinatungan mo pa yun ng mga resulta, so another hands up. So yung mga na yun.
The most important thing, yeah.
May mga ilan lang talaga na parang hindi nila kaya magdala. Kaya yung isa nagtayo ng business tapos drop out din pero hindi pinansin na investor. Maybe, ayun nga, hindi siya ganun ka-knowledgeable din, hindi siya ganun ka-passionate sa isang bagay na yun. So, kailangan mo talagang pag-aralan ng mabuti para alam mo kung paano ka may kapag-usap sa mga yun. So, and another one na parang pattern is mostly ng mga startup founders na nakilala ko is pag nasa school kasi sila, pag alam ba, sa college, kumbaga parang yung gusto nilang matutunan, hindi naman tinuturo doon sa college. And mostly, kumbaga parang kumbaga parang puro lang, basic lang, tapos halimbawa may prof doon na parang na-assign lang siya doon na kasi kumbaga parang hindi yun yung gusto ng mostly ng mga entrepreneurial na minds na katulad ko. Mostly, siguro iba na academical, pero ako kasi hindi ako ganun eh. So mostly, ng mga nakikita kong rason kung bakit hindi na sila nagpatuloy. Kasi ganun nga, kumbaga parang mas natututo ka outside by doing and by practicing.
Agree.
So, ayun.
100%. I really agree with that.
Pero,
yes.
Ayun. Sige.
Yes, I really agree with that because I think a lot of people really, afraid of doing things that they really love because of the because of their parents' opinion or they may not baka hindi nila magustuhan yon or hindi yun yung usual things dito sa Pilipinas, which is that's why I created also this podcast to inspire and help creative professionals, startup founders, or aspiring creatives to pursue their passion, right? Or unconventional path. It's not easy, but it's really worth it. Believe us. Believe me, it's really worth it, right? So let's go back a little bit about your personal background, right? So I think you're really passionate about cybersecurity. You're really passionate about helping others, and how do you change the bad image of hackers. Because diba, pag lalo na sa Pinas, very ang tawag, ang misconception lalo na sa Pinas is ang hackers is criminal. Can you share a little bit about your insight about that?
Ayun. So, that time problema ko din yan. Kasi once na meron akong kausap sa business, pag nalaman nila agad na hacker ako, kumbaga parang, okay, blacklist. Pero kumbaga parang ganun yung kasama. Yung
actually parang inisip ko rin na ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng ethical hacking sa parang usual hacking or bad hacking? Is there a black or white hacking? Tama ba? Can you explain para at least malaman ng listeners natin who really passionate about cyber security?
So may dalawa kasing klase ng hacker. So yung isa, tinatawag nating black hat hacker o yung masasamang hacker. Yun yung mga kriminal, yung mga illegal, yung mga ginagawa. So, then yung isa naman is yung white hat hacker. Ito yung mga ethical, yung tinatawag nating ethical hackers, na kung saan i-hack nila yung system ng isang company, pero may written permission yon, may contract, kumbaga bago gawin ng hacker yon, may mga nagpirmahan muna sila, nag-usap muna sila, anong mga bawal, ano yung mga hindi. So, yun yung legal.
Got it. Ayun. So, that's it. So, for those who are really, parang confused about ethical hacking and or between white and black hacking or black hat, right? So I might sound dumb sa mga ganitong jargons, pero we're here with Alexis, so he will help us on that infos or para sa learnings na rin with those who are really passionate about cybersecurity. Actually, bro, so and medyo naalala ko lang right now. So may nag-reach out sa akin. I don't know, nalimutan ko yung name, pero naging parang I think co-work or colleagues in nalimutan ko na, so medyo matagal. So sabi niya, i-featured mo si Alexis Lingad. Alexis. So parang gusto niya rin. I don't know. It's I can remember, sorry. So i-featured ko daw si Alexis Lingad sa podcast ko. So I think very useful tong shinare mo for her or for him. So especially for those who are really passionate about cybersecurity, right? So hindi lang yung more technical side yung shinare mo, more on stories and how do you follow your unconventional path, right? Especially here in the Philippines. So that's really amazing, man. So kudos to you for that. So for those all the challenges and for those the hat you are wearing, not how do you balance life? Are you still believing in work-life balance?
Oo naman.
Yes, cool.
Actually, walang naniniwala na meron pa akong love life, meron pa akong gaming life.
Wow. Cool. So what's your favorite game? Dota?
Mobile Legends.
Mobile Legends. So yes, can you share a little bit more about that?
Okay, so kasi paano ba to? Nababalance naman.
Yes.
Kumbaga parang naman, kumbaga
nasa
scheduling lang, time management. Kumbaga sanayan lang. Sa umpisa mahirap talaga, pero pag nasanay ka na and na-force ka na masanay doon, talagang maanahan mo na. Pero ayun, kumbaga parang lahat naman pwede mo naman kasi ito yung pagkakamali ng mga millennials ngayon. Tanggap kasi sila ng tanggap ng mga opportunities na wala namang kinalaman sa goal nila. Kaya madalas wala na silang time. 100%. Yun yung problema. So learn to say no. Learn to say no sa mga bagay na wala namang kinalaman sa goals mo, sa if ever na talagang gusto mo mag-focus and gusto mo maging successful. Kasi you will not be master of all. Kumaga parang kailangan mo lang mag-focus sa isang bagay na talagang kung saan ka maging experience. So, ayun yung parang pinakamoto ko. Kaya napansin nila parang, okay, sige, ito lang, company, family, friends, and so on. Kumaga parang doon lang tumatakbo yung ano ko. Tapos if ever na may bago, edi, ayun, kumaga parang hindi lang naman ako yes ng yes sa iba't ibang
great.
mga.
That's really great. Actually, there's a book about that. It's called Essentialism. If you heard that, the disciplined pursuit of less. So, basically,
the one thing.
Yes, the one thing. So it's basically it teaches you how to say no, like what Alexis said. Parang you need to focus on one area na you can control. So just ano lang, parang alisin mo yung mga hindi mo makontrol. Just focus on that. Focus your energy on that, and then you will be more effective. You will be more efficient as a in your relationship, career, business, or whatever are you doing, right? So that's really highly recommended. I highly recommend that book also. Cool. So thank you so much for sharing that, man. So I really enjoying this talk. So
thank you.
I'm curious, how do you keep yourself productive? Do you have any do you have your I like what you said, it's all about time management, no? So you still use journals or whatever, or use I think you're very techy guy, so what's your tools and hacks about productivity to stop procrastination, something like that?
Meron akong journal na na ginagamit. Ano siya, pen naman yung gamit ko. So hindi siya computer. So parang
wow, same here. I'm also using journal. I really love journals, yes.
Kasi once na halimbawa tapos na yung araw ko. So mag-start ako magsulat doon kung ano yung mga nangyari para mas makapag-reflect ka kung ano yung mga ano. And sa decision making kasi kumbaga parang nare-require din siya sa amin ng mga mentors para daw mas ma-reflect mo kung tama ba yung naging decision mo sa from that thing. And kung ano mas magandang strategy na next na pwede mong gawin for the business. So halimbawa, yung nangyari na nag-burst out yung kami sa media na parang hindi naman talaga namin na-expect. So isa yun sa mga naging parang isa sa mga naging help sa amin para maka-create ng ganong klaseng strategy. So ayun.
So that's it. So I also highly recommended journal. So if you like to use an digital format, you can always use notes or whatever. If you like to, I think it's better to have analog format and a digital format at the same time, right? So like what Alexis said, basically it will help you to be more conscious or self-aware about your decision or whatever you are doing in your life right now. So that's really a valuable insight. And to recap this, I think we need to wrap up this show na. So medyo matagal na. So I don't want to waste. I'm sure you're so busy to just to wrap up the show. So ano yung what's your best practical advice for those who are really passionate about cybersecurity, and especially to those who just getting started on this startup journey?
Okay. So, ano ba? Startup or cybersecurity? Or general?
In general na lang. So
okay, sige. General na lang.
Yes.
Okay, so my advice is to go out of your comfort zone. And don't think of what other people will think about your decision. If kumbaga parang wag mo isipin kung ano yung iisipin nila kung halimbawa gawin mo yung passion mo talaga, yung gusto mo talaga. Kumbaga, do it now. As in now mismo na kung ano talaga yung passion mo. Kasi sayang, you only live once. So go out of your comfort zone and do something that you really like. And that's what life is.
Wow, that's powerful. So thank you so much again, Alexis. Right? So that's really
okay. Thank you, then.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this session. And
Yeah.
yeah, for those who would like to reach you, or for those who are like to ask question about something about Hakuna or about cybersecurity, what is the best channels that they can reach you out?
Okay. So we have Facebook page, facebook.com/cryptors, or pwede rin sa Hakuna page namin, facebook.com/hakuna.antihack.
Okay.
So, ayun.
Got it. So you also have some events, right, or workshop? Can you invite them
So,
also?
meron kaming ethical hacking workshop sa October 27. May kita nyo yung details sa Facebook page din namin, Cryptors.
Yes.
And merong October 28 din kami na web hacking workshop. So, ayun.
So that's it, guys. So for those who are listening, and I hope you are listening until the end. So for those who are listening, I will put the links on our show notes below. So if you're listening to your Apple Podcasts or to your Google Podcast app, you can check that out on our links below. All the things that we've mentioned and the important links we've talked about in this episode is on our show notes. So that's it, guys, and I hope you enjoy this podcast session, Alexis. Thank you so much, and I'm really honored to have you on the show, man. So
okay.
Yes, I hope to talk to you soon again. And there you go, guys. Thank you so much for listening onto this week podcast. I hope you enjoyed that session with Alexis, and I really learned a lot with this man, and I really love how he was able to turn his passion into a viable business and profitable business. That's the most important thing as creatives. As we follow unconventional path, we need to monetize it, right? So that's really a key to keep it going and keep it running. So speaking of keep it running, if you love this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/tdls and you can help me out, and I will launch a lot of great episodes soon. And if you love to help me on to keep this advertisement and sponsor free, just go to patreon.com/tdls or go to the website thedesignlifeshow.com and click the donate button on the top. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask on me. Just send them over, at least 2-minute audio clip, right? So you can send them over to hi@jchristebes.com. That's hi@jchristebes.com, and I will love to hear a great questions from you guys, and I will answer that on air and feature that on air. Okay, so thank you so much for listening onto this week podcast, and see you again next week for a great and valuable episode, right? So have a great weekend.